Welcome back to game number 3. In game 1, IG literally stomped over Na'Vi. Game 2, the best anti-wombo combo we have ever witnessed in Dota 2 history. And now game 3, we are in the winner brackets. The winner goes on, the loser goes to the, losers. And we are Luminous and LD. My heart has almost stopped.
I want to talk, but oh my god, those games, especially game 2, the execution required to win that game, it wasn't just the picks, it wasn't just the early laning advantage Na'Vi got. It is so easy to make one mistake, not get that BKB off in time, get burst down before you're able to drop it, not catch everyone in the black hole, the net comes out, cancels it up. Perfect play by Na'Vi, and what about Dendi stealing Ravage multiple times in that game, out of his mind, making so many plays for the team. Here we are though, in the draft, it is game 3. Whoever wins this game, they are guaranteed to be top 3, which means they are really in the money. Whoever's not, I mean, we've seen the losers bracket matches so far. They're already pretty tough. And with either IG or Na'Vi dropping down, they're about to get a lot tougher.
Nobody want to face IG or Na'Vi in the loser bracket, and we are jumping into the draft. Of course, the Pudge is going to get banned. Naga Siren, by the way, it's in the pool. It's in the pool. IG says we'll get the Darkseer right now, and I have a feeling that Na'Vi will not be picking the Naga Siren.
Yeah, you know, they showed they can beat the combo. So do they need to worry about this game? It's still a very potent combo. Maybe if they didn't go quite so heavily into it, it would have worked better. You know, that's the one downside of their lineup. They didn't have too much anti-push, and Na'Vi got a lot in terms of their own pushing power. Maybe taking the Enigma away from Na'Vi might have made the difference. Will Na'Vi go for it again here? It is available. A lot of signature heroes slip through, though. Chen's, Puppy's Chen, Ors, and Enchantress are both in the pool. It's Enigma, and it's Leshrac. Some really strong push power, some big burst damage, and also denying the Enigma to IG.
I think the Enigma is the big thing here. Rushing that BKB, the ability to pop the BKB after the sleep means you're not going to get any kind of wombo combo off. And Darkseer, I mean, sure, it's a great opening, it's a great laning. He stopped the push by himself for a long, long time. But if the Naga's coming, it's all AoE. And I don't think IG will go for the Naga now.
We'll have to see where they want to go. They pick up a Darkseer to start things off. Sandcane would be a pretty good choice for either of these teams to supplement their chasing power to give them an additional lockdown ability. Ferrari's TA is in the pool, and that's the hero I have my eyes on. Edict is pretty good against it. Demonic Conversions is pretty strong versus Refraction. But these heroes are frail. They are squishy, they're easily brought down, and when you have Surge to supplement that TA, that's pretty scary.
That's really scary indeed. IG has used a lot of their times here and going into reserve time as well. I don't think they're phased. They're just chilling their seats, picking their heroes, discussing it along the way. IG's been here. It's going to be Enchantress. It's going to be a Tinker.
Oh boy.
How often do you see Naga in the pool and nobody cares?
Well, we saw earlier today, right, that Tinker, as strong as he is at anti-push, Naga ultimate can shut him down, and it's a hero that's been very effective for Na'Vi in their first series, but not today. In their match against IG in game 1, it didn't work, but they go back to Hvost's anti-mage.
Now, Hvost's anti-mage being supported by AA's Leshrac, I kind of mentioned this earlier. When they run a top lane, I don't know how AA does it, but his splitters always land. And when they do, they get kills.
Well, body blocks by Hvos, that's one option. The Eidolon's blocking as well, or more importantly, the Malefice. They have some setup. It's not the best setup. There's no Shadow Demon.
Oh, he doesn't need setup. He just goes.
Yeah, sometimes you do, especially against Darkseer. It can be hard to hit those splits.
Definitely.
So they go for some really strong push here on IG between the Enchantress, the Tinker, the Darkseer. But here's the concern. There are 0 stuns on this team.
0 stun for
against
now.
an anti-mage.
For now. Pug's going to get banned. Shadow Shaman's going to get banned, so a little bit
really
signature
smart
heroes.
ban.
Yeah, for both sides here. Anti-mage got to be protected. We saw the power in game number 1. We talked about the Blink Hex during the draft. It never even got to the Blink Hex because the level 6 Shadow Shaman as a support just pushed the hell out of every single tower. On the flip side, Dendi's Pug on game 1 was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, his Rubik was absolutely out of this world.
Ferrari's Buck was pretty good. But
it was good,
game.
but they were always on the back foot. And
sure.
Puck is a hero that needs a lot. It's a setup hero. It's not a hero that wins the fight for its team. It's a hero that sets up the fight that the team wins, and they just didn't have those fights. Broodmother, the final ban. This is really smart from IG. If you in game number 1 against DK, when Hvos was doing so well on anti-mage, it was really Light of Heaven's Broodmother that won them that game in my book. So much pressure on the bottom lane. They could never really rotate anyone out of that lane. He got really fat, he got really farmed, and if Broodmother gets big, that means that Anti-Mage is going to have a lot of room to maneuver. Lone Druid is the ban, a signature for Zoe. I believe this will be a Ferrari Tinker.
Yeah, it's a Ferrari Tinker, and the question becomes, what is Zoe going to play? And Naga's not an option. At least I don't think. If you're going to go for Naga, you go for it quite early. It's a Venomancer, and Zoe and IG, they're hiding the hero. They're going to give us a big one.
What about a Faceless Void?
It's good.
It could be pretty strong. If you throw Marching Machines on top of that, if you pop an Ion Shell on him, then you have an initiation.
You can vacuum into it.
Great hero to deal with. Anti-Mage cancels the Black Hole. And hey, he benefits from farm, and we both know Zoe does enjoy his creeps.
Zoe does eat creeps for breakfast and lunch and
Who needs
dinner
Wheaties?
and midnight snack. But the point goes back to IG or Na'Vi now. They do need another. Well, they need Dendy's hero. They need Light of Heaven's hero. Although Light of Heaven could
He
be
could play the Enigma.
He can. I think last game definitely proved he can play Enigma, and he played it well.
He's heard of the hero.
Yes.
What are they going to pick? They're really taking their time with this one. And again, what does Dendy play? Is Puck the choice here? The silence is pretty
No,
good.
Puck's banned.
Oh, excuse me. What am I talking about? Windrunner is available. No, it's going to be a Light of Heaven Enigma and a Puppy Chen.
Right? I mean, hey, it works.
Very defensive team so far.
I mean, they can go on the offensive. Again, you could just land the Split Earth.
Right.
If you miss, fine.
Right.
You could run in with the Edict and just do a lot of damage. We saw Blink body block from Anti-Mage as well. That's a very, very potent lane, especially with Chan
Is
backstabs.
there any chance this Venomancer pick? No, it's a Luna!
It's a Luna. It's the Luna sensation over the Chinese teams.
I was about to say, are they going to give the Tinker to Zoe and pick up that TA? I thought the Venomancer pick was setting up for that, but they go for Luna, and I think it's time for us to talk about our research yesterday. How does he play this Luna?
Well, there's about two ways. Queen of Pain's the
Dandy
last
Queen
pick
of
here.
Pain.
And Queen of Pain against Zoe's Luna is going to be big, right? Luna as a support here, or not, as a carry hero, very, very squishy. Can get easily nuked down. But we did our research yesterday. The way that IG plays her Luna, it's going to be beam, or aura, beam,
Prepare
aura,
for battle.
beam. So you max the beam by 7.
Yeah, you get a couple of points in the R, then you go back for the
glaives.
glaives. Gives you some push power. But for me, even the more interesting thing might be the item build.
Yes.
As we see Avos going to set up some wards for Na'Vi. Good decision to give the anti-mage the wards. Much harder to gank than those supports. And he can place them effectively, but he likes to go for very cheap, cost-effective laning items.
Yes.
Tranquil Boots, Reign of Aquila, and Drums. Then he looks towards the big items, whether it's a Manta style or a BKB. This allows him to contribute early, but still scale very well. We've seen Zoe get absolutely massive. And I feel Luna with a max inventory, this is a long way off.
Yeah,
but can compete with an anti-mage.
I mean, I'm glad that it's not going up top lane. I mean, he's going to get the farm.
Not in the laning stage,
Right,
though.
right.
Not in the laning stage.
DK definitely ran the Luna top, and it
30
didn't work out well
seconds
for
to
them.
battle.
Zoe says we'll just run it at bot. You can see that the Mercedes will be upgraded eventually. We're going to see that Ring of Aquila. And, of course, he's going to be taking, back to the skill build, he's going to be taking ultimates whenever he can.
Of course.
But for now, let's introduce the players. Puppy on the die will be handling his famous, world-famous Chen, Light Up Heaven. Again, he played this hero before. He's going to be playing the Enigma. On the mid lane, it's going to be Dendy's Queen of Pain. And Havos is going to be going up top, Anti-Mage,
The
and he is
battle
going to be supported
begins.
by Arzart playing the Lishra.
For IG, it will be YYF handling that off-lane Darkseer. He's done this many times before. Ferrari as the solo mid-tanker. I'm excited for this. He's up against Dendy's Queen of Pain. In the early laning stage, it's pretty even. Maybe a slight edge towards the Tinker because he's got more burst damage, because his range is better, and because Laser will prevent you from last hitting for 3 seconds. But this will be an exciting visit towards this matchup again. On the bottom lane, it's Faith playing the Venomancer. Zoe going to be handling that Luna. You can already see Light of Heaven denying creeps, limiting his farm. And Chuan, of course, for him, a signature jungle hero of his own. He'll be playing the Enchantress.
Back on the top lane here, we talked about this many times. Arzart trying to backstab. He knows he's not going to get the kill, but he just want to force out Surge, or force out some mana. Well, he doesn't have Surge, at least not yet. But look at the pot shot. That's 4 right hits coming in. He's going to try to go for a little bit pull as he can. This is a very easy to pull camp as well as this one. But for now, it's the mid lane. A lot of harass coming in. And how's the creeping going on overall?
It's really early, but Anti-Mage 4-2. Luna sitting at 3-0. Luna, for the moment, is solo up against Light of Heaven, handling herself pretty well. Zoe playing that, of course. Very, very defensive start for both teams. If you look at IG's lineup, this is a team, once again, like last game, they have 3 heroes that are very level dependent. Luna, you really want to hit level 11, ideally 16, but especially 11. Tinker, you want to max out all 3 of your nukes. You want to get your Boots of Travel up. Not the same hero until he gets them. And even Darkseer needs to hit 11. The Venomancer, as far as supports go, pretty level dependent. So IG playing it passively, they're going to be happy with that. But this means free farm time for Havost. Very even start to the game. Can't give a clear edge to either team. Seems like Puppey is creeping a bit faster than his counterpart, being Schwan handling the Enchantress.
Well, when your Darkseer, which is one of the best side lanes in the game, has to run off to go for a pull or just get a kind of drive-by clarity on the mid lane.
And look at Ferrari already stacking the Ancients, but Puppey there to deny it with the Wildkin. Great play by him.
Yep, doing very well. It's both teams. The Wildkin Corpse making sure that no stack will be happening. On the bot lane here, Zoe, I mean, everybody is just farming at this point here. I mean, you can see that the Na'Vi guys are leading, but it's such a small lead, it doesn't matter. For me is, when does Na'Vi decide to push? Leshrack's a great pusher. We know Chen can push well. And the question is Havost going to go for the tried and true Battle Fury build, or is he going to go for something else? A little bit old school, like the Vanguard Vlads.
Yeah, I think either one is an option here. For me, Havost seems to be favoring the Battle Fury build as of late in pretty much every game. And generally when he does play anti-mage, they go for a lot of strong supporting heroes that are good in the laning stage, and then they ask Havost in the late stages of the game to carry that heavy load. Not early on, and that's why it truly is a team effort. Dendy, way past the tower. Ferrari will be lasering him. In terms of that middle lane, 10 and 6 for Dendy. 3 and 3 for Ferrari.
Yeah, Ferrari's
the
just having
of last game.
Yeah, he's just having a tough time. I mean, sooner or later he's gonna have to start lasering creeps, and that's not where you want to be. His Breach of Travel is gonna be slowed down for a while, but a good comeback mechanic is that Marcher Machine if you get your Ancient stack, which by the way is not happening because Puppey has been checking on it very, very much so.
Such a passive start to the game. Do you give an edge to either team as we see Chuan and Faith smoking up, maybe angling for a kill?
Well, they're going to try, but then they would blink. Once he senses the smoke coming or once he sees the smoke coming, he's going to be out of there. It's a big investment for this smoke gank. If it doesn't work, Chuan's not getting any levels, and neither will be Faith. This is basically not the 2 best hero to gank. A Troll Warlord, it's going to keep him from blinking, but then I think he's going to be completely fine.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be in fact, one of them dies, and they really needed the double net. So that smoke gank fails. Pretty even start to the game. Well, I say so. It is going to be a gold and experience lead for Na'Vi. Again, it's early. It's not a big advantage, but they're getting the advantage, and this is a team that can really use those levels, use that farm effectively. Puppey getting towards 6, Dendy getting his Scream of Pain maxed out and getting his ultimate up as soon as possible. Those are going to be 2 key things, but perhaps the biggest thing will be Light of Heaven's farm. He's already level 4, being very active around the map, and he's abandoned the bottom lane, but I think they're okay with that. They're still getting the edge overall.
Meanwhile, YYF's jungling is still level 2. No luck on the top lane. The jungle creeps hitting him very, very hard. We've seen teams do this quite a bit, and the correct response by Na'Vi is just to push. Enigma comes out of jungle. Chen will be backstabbing. This tier 1 tower is going to go down for free.
And Arsar clearing out the tree line there, making sure that there won't be any secret defense. No response from IG.
Yeah, and then really, there's no response. Even being concocted. Again, a ward being dropped down. He was countered earlier. Again, no comeback for this Tinker. Not much action happening already on the scoreboard, really, but a lot of punches being traded.
The first tower going to Na'Vi, yeah. This is big. This means a lot of space for Havost to farm. At the same time, as the lane gets drawn towards YYF, he can look to get some farm here. He's only level 2, though, and I talked about level dependency. Puppey zoning him up the tower, Edict chewing through it. They're working on the tier 1 bottom. They just got there, and already the tier 2 is dying. This is the power of Leshrack. This is the power of the multiple summons, the double jungler. Here comes the march. It's only level 3, but it might be enough to stop this push. No, the tower will take a fall. Will they deny it? They will not. Havost last hits it, and that's huge. Now it's got to be a Battle Fury build. 1,400 gold on him.
And let's not forget that Ferrari was forced to defend top, and now Dendy says, all right, free farm. He's already hit level 6 because of his skill build. Would not have to Scream of Pain max. He needs a couple more levels to do so. Treads is going to be his choice, and right now the push comes to the mid lane, and now Ferrari has to rotate. But meanwhile, on the bot lane, it's IG trying to even the towers up in terms of pushing.
You know, something that I alluded to in the early stages of the draft was that
Dire's
IG
bottom
had 0
tower is
reliable
under attack.
disables. Chuan can try and get some with the Enchantress. And the reason I bring it up now is the anti-mage is getting really fat. He's leading the game in terms of net worth. The next closest is Dendi at 2670. The first hero to get on the board for IG is that Tinker at 1500, half the net worth of this anti-mage. And they don't have the lockdown. They really need items like Scythe of Vice to lock them down effectively. And if they don't get those items up, which it doesn't look like they're getting them soon, Havos could be a massive problem for this team.
Zoe's still trying his best, but his best might not be enough, at least not right now. Ring of Aquila will be trying to deliver on the bot lane. Zoe at this point is such an easy gank. All they need is a couple of stuns and a couple of right clicks, but it's kind of a scary hero to gank as well because of the threat of the Eclipse. Those Eidolons will be doing a lot of tanking throughout this game. But for now, Na'Vi will slow down a little bit. Chen is looking for big creeps.
Bottom lane, Zoe has to be careful. Ping coming out from the Dire side. That would be Puppey. These three roaming as a pack, looking to set up kills. Light of Heaven, it's 7 minutes in. He's journeyed around the world, and he's still level 5.
I mean, he's journeying around the world, but he's hitting creeps everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing fine. And
Pit stops along the way.
Yep, there you go. And now Zoe will back off. A very, very patient gank from Na'Vi. They don't just dance out. They're still patiently waiting for it. It is nighttime, so the sight vision has been reduced, but Luna does have a long night vision. It doesn't matter if you get stunned, though. Where's the stun? Eclipse comes in right now. Everybody, all the clips from Enchantress, Light of Heaven slow. Yes. He's going to be fine. Zoe turning around. Eidolon's doing big stum damage. Is there going to be a splitter? And it's going to hit on Chuan, but there's no follow-up. Again, arts are just so good on those splitters. Don't even need a setup, but really no follow-up here. We're still 0-0, but again, the gold as well as the EXP being led by Na'Vi.
Darkseer, while this was happening, almost went down. It looks like, I guess he was jungling, just dropped low. He's forced back to base. He's only level 4. He's still not really catching up. Now, Darkseer is a hero that can catch up, but it's going to take him a while to do so. One big thing for me that I really want to see from IG is pretty quick boots of travel in Ferrari, but he's not close to them yet. He's a long way off. By the time he gets them, Anti-Mage is going to have his Battle Fury, I believe. Havos has Ferrari taking some damage. The laser back on the Dendi. They know these Ancients are being stacked. They definitely do. They just saw Ferrari checking that top rune. They've been roaming in that direction all game. And losing these 2 towers top, it's so big when you look at Ancient stacking because now Na'Vi can smoke gank in, look for the backstab. They can pincer him in and pick him off. He's trying to Ancient stack. This is the big comeback mechanic for Tinker if you can farm it. But can he farm it?
I don't think he can. I mean, if you are in 8 minutes in the game and that's your first stack, you are not in good shape as a Tinker. Zoe still trying to farm on the bot lane. Right now, IG, all they want to do is basically sign the armistice and then just don't do anything for the 20 minutes. I have a feeling that Na'Vi will not sign that one.
Do they, though? Because Havost already power charts picked up Ring of Health. Again, leading the way in terms of net worth. Queen of Pain next in line, and these two, they're up against some squishies. Enchantress very squishy. Venomancer very squishy. Even Luna. You go for Tranquil Boots, you go for Ring of Aquila. You're not going for any big HP items. Drums will be next. That helps him quite a bit. And the Ancient's blocked again by Puppey.
I'm shaking my head right now. What small but cheeky play. That's how you just give them no outs. No outs. Puppey is just migrating out of his mind right now.
And again, he's been doing this a couple times all game. That's one of the big reasons they haven't been stacked thoroughly. The other reason is that Denny was pushing mid and with Scream of Pain, and the Tinker was not spamming March. Ferrari was trying to hold on it, trying to conserve his mana, not use it as much as he could, so it means with the lane pushing, if you go to stack, you miss out on experience. And then even when he does go, like we just saw, it's Puppey half the time denying him. So for the moment, we're looking at a very even game in terms of experience, but it is going to be a significant gold lead for the Dire. And if Anti-Mage goes for Battle Fury, if Queen of Pain decides to farm a lot, these heroes can accelerate that farm quite quickly.
Zoe says, I'm not doing too good, but I'll keep my build exactly the same, which is the Bracer into drums. Zoe want to participate in the team fight.
The ult's back up.
And here we go. He sees Dendi. Dendi's quite low, but with Blink, Eclipse is just a nasty spell. You can't really go for it. He's got to be careful himself. In fact, is he going to be okay? He finds himself a regen room. There's a beam. He's going to... all right.
Regeneration.
Both teams bouncing back in and out, but in the end, nobody is going to choose to engage. Arsart in the middle lane. Arsart hitting level 5. Again, Na'Vi doing a great job of getting everybody some levels, everybody some farm in this game. They're going to start to push mid. IG looking for the pressure here. Ferrari can start layering down the march. I really would like to see him do so to prevent Light of Heaven from charging in. This is where Lucent Beam can be very powerful, is to zone enemy heroes out. Spammable, does a lot of damage once it's maxed, which it is now. But they're going to be forced back. The Chen creeps doing a good job of slowing this push down, even with the Venomancer wards. It's just not enough. The tower takes some chip damage. but it's 5 heroes mid for IG, and it's only 4 for Na'Vi, and they're defending, which means free farm for Verbose. It is going to be Battle Fury, and it's not too far off. The pressure continuing to mount. There's your Split Earth. They want this tower real bad. This is a big investment to get it.
Glyph is used right now. Enigma does have the black hole. He's going for that BKB rush. Same thing like last game. Dandy in position for the Sonic Wave. Arzard, of course, stunned, ready to go. There's no push for IG. They're using 5 players this time, and they're not getting anything out of it right now. At worst, it could be a team wipe. It could be a denied tower. But right now, Na'Vi just so patient because they know Anti-Mage just free farming up on top lane. Does he have a port? You could bet that he does. He's going to come in with some Mana Voids for sure.
Zo does not have mana for his ultimate. He can use his wand. He might have just enough, but he's not really use Elusive Beam on top of it. And that mini stun is very important. The tower in deny range. Will Dendy find it? He will not. Too much damage. Good effort from him, though. And again, they're not fighting with 5.
If you're Na'Vi, you're fine with that.
Right.
Tower is destroyed.
You got 3 or 4 minutes of farm.
Right. And Havo says, I got farm up top. He's got the Battle Fury, I imagine, very, very soon. Nothing on the Courier yet. Anything on Stash? Nope, nothing on Stash. So that's going to be the first piece of his Battle Fury. Still about 1,400 go away.
Yeah, not far off. 12 minutes in. It's looking good for Na'Vi. They did lose the tower, but we shouldn't underestimate the burst damage of IG. The Luna ultimate, once she hits 11, it's not going to be as fast as Ice 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 because there is no Midas, not farming nearly as much, but can participate in fights earlier. That ultimate is very scary. Chen, Hand of God, will help if he's able to get it off. The mech will help if he is able to finish it. But the burst damage between that, the damage over time, from the Venomancer, the Taker, who provides some good AoE damage of his own with the March, and finally Ferrari is getting close to those Boots of Travel. I feel this is a really crucial item pickup. Even though he's not going to have any other items for a while, he can stop the bleeding, basically. He can limit the amount of damage these towers are going to take. They might lose this tower bottom, but Ion Shell and the Eidolons, YWF has something to say about that. YWF is catching up now. He was at level 4 about 5 minutes ago. Now he's up to 7. He's not really high leveled, but he's getting to that point where he can start to have a bigger impact.
Ooh, Dandy's pops his Invis, and every time, oh, there's a Courier. I'm just saying, there's a Courier. This Courier, it's so low. He's probably going to go for it on the way back. Here we go.
Oh, maybe not. Dendy biding his time, stalking that Courier. He really wants it. This is patience from Dendy. This is going to be big. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. 1, 2, 3. The haste. It's not enough.
Oh,
he gets
the speed. The Courier just jumps out.
What reaction time by IG.
Oh, man. The Speedy Demon, getting the correct name. It's called a Speedy Demon, right?
It is a Speedy Demon now, that's for sure.
Yeah, and just sensational plays on both sides. By the way, though, one thing we haven't pointed out is that Havost is pushing their base.
Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, the Tier 3 under siege right now. Havost, 800 gold on him. That Battle Fury coming soon. There's your laser. Now Tinker can stop this push, but they are going to be in a lot of trouble if the team fight happens. Arsart backing back in. The M, Chuan, first blood at 14 minutes. Black hole on Zo. Zo takes a fall. They want more. They want Chuan. Blink in. Havost with the ult. Will he drop it? He will. Not enough. Chuan tanking, surviving. Bambi is immortal. Bambi is surged. Bambi is dead. Bambi dies. What a sad ending. The blink in. Havost, he's not done. Cannot stop. Will not stop. Vacuum back. YYF. One more blink over the top. Havost gets 3. 3 kills for Na'Vi. And now that first blood. Fate. TP out. Will they stop him?
Ooh.
Just in time.
Big TPs out here, but this tower does not have any TPs on him. What a noob. He's going to be going down very, very soon. Tinker says, I need to get some farm right now. He does have the Boots of Travel finish, but that's not enough. He needs a Force Staff. He needs so much. Oh, Zo says, I want to have something to say about this. He TPs in and decides to gallop his way out because there's no way. No way by himself. Really, Zo, don't go for it. Zo, all right, he's back up.
He was thinking about it, man. Zo likes to be aggressive. Another tower for Na'Vi. One thing we have not talked about, the mechanics of that Eclipse. You cannot control which heroes, which units the beams hit. You're up against Eidolons. You're also up against Chen creeps and 5 heroes on top of that. Plus the Anti-Mage. You don't want to hit him. He's got Spell Shield. And there's a Hand of God. This ultimate may not be very effective unless they can find a way to kill the creeps. March is nice, but it's not instant.
Here we go. Na'Vi says we want to apply pressure absolutely everywhere. This is where Tinker as a hero is so good because he can keep up with the pressure with the Booted Travel as well as delay the pressure by dropping a whole bunch of Marching Machine. And here we go. The net. Ooh, that's a miss. And unfortunately,
unlucky guess.
Dendy will back out. Dendy, by the way, also going for a Black King bar first. They realize if they do pick up the BKB, right now the Radiant has basically no answer. Eventually, Luna can get big for the right click, but that's very, very
really far behind.
She's very far behind.
I don't think they can farm their way back into this one. Lunar Blessing at level 3, I think they really need to push. They need to get some map control back. They're not going to be able to kill Anti-Mage without so much of an investment. Again, just lacking the disables. What they can do is push the other towers, try and control the map, prevent everyone else from farming. And in fact, they get the tower. Chuan last hits it. Chuan could be the surprise hero. They breach high ground. Na'Vi not expecting this. Really slow to react from them. But in they come. Dendi eats a Lucent Beam. Black Hole's on cooldown. There won't be any epic wombo combo, but there will be some Centaur jacking. Puppey steals it back. And now IG, they pressure. They do a little bit of damage to the tower, but Havost responds. Havost strikes back. He pushes top into the base.
I just love the way that IG is playing right now. You're absolutely right. They can't farm their way back. That means they're warding very aggressively. They are losing right now, but look at wards all over the enemy side of the map, and they will try to set up ganks. They will go for pickoffs, and they will just try to basically push their way back in the game. So ironic that IG, a team that generally, they play from ahead. They don't like to push too much, but this time they're trying to push to keep themselves alive.
This style, it's really difficult to try and play this way to claw your way back into the game because the two big heroes that are farming are the Anti-Mage and the Queen of Pain, and they're always spreading the map. They're so mobile. And again, no reliable disables, no way to lock them down. So they can try and gank. This is what they really, I think they need to do. Surge, they catch out Puppey. There's your Lucent Beam, but the Hand of God, the Rockets come in. Perfect chain stun. The Centaurs doing work right now. Puppey is living. Puppey is dying. He takes a fall, and Na'Vi, they lose one. But again, it's a very expensive kill, and Havost blinks in. That imp will not follow him because he blinks away in time. They defend, and I think they're okay with that trade.
Oh, I love it. Puppey drags away the siege unit, and that siege unit just...
cheeky.
It's going to go back, so very unfortunate. I think the push will resume. No big AoE ultimate. Oh, Tinker died.
Yeah, Tinker did take a fall during that fight, so definitely a good trade.
Good map awareness here by the caster. Who's controlling the camera? Not too sure. Zoe, though, will be continuing to push and pressure with his team. Tinker will be back immediately with that Breach of Travel, so not too much of a big deal. Again, IG's been doing this. They're pushing as 5. It's not efficient. They're losing a lot of gold and EXP because of this, but this is the only way.
And you know, Havost, he can TP in to defend the tower as long as it's up. There's your glyph. The March gets dropped. Na'Vi might forfeit this, and they're actually giving away quite a bit of map control if they do so. But I was going to say Havost can always jump and join the fight because that jungle is so close. Centaur creeps, leading the way. Havost waiting for that moment to pounce. The cat tensing itself, poised to strike, but not going to go in.
I mean, the March Machine layers make it very, very difficult for Na'Vi to come in and defend this, but they're still trying. Anti-Mage on top lane, you can see the high ground vision constantly being granted by the Venomancer, playing exceptionally, but I think they have lost a pushing position. Havost and the squad is just so mobile, and they could jump in anytime.
And Dendi taking some imp damage. No, the Lucent Beam is going to kill off the ward here. This is really forcing it for IG. You know, we do feel they can't farm their way back into this one. Queen of Pain and Anti-Mage with Battle Fury just so good at flash farming. And they're probably going to be the hardest carries in the game, especially that Anti-Mage. It seems like they can't farm their way back in, and they agree. But this is a lot of time to invest in pushing, and this could be devastating.
He has invis. He wants to go right beam. Beam on Puppey. Puppey's going to get picked off immediately. Light of Heaven's looking for the Black Hole. He's going to try. He's going to get 3. BKB Black Hole. Right-click on Light of Heaven. Sonic Wave from Dendi. Everybody's dead. Zoe want to have something to bait on. He dies with a Mana Void. It's going to be 1 for 4. Blink out here from 430. He blinks out, but the damage has been done. Na'Vi wins a big team fight, 3-8. Havost says, I'll farm more. He's got an ultimate orb. He's going for Yasha. He's going for Manta at this point. The goal difference, a little bit scary to look at.
Are we witnessing the rebirth of Anti-Mage? Of course, he's not the one winning these fights. It is Light of Heaven. But man, Havost getting very fat now. This will be another big game that Na'Vi, they turn to the Anti-Mage as the hard carry. It's not the Morphling is doing it. It's not the Lone Druid. The tower goes down. Havost claims it, and that's going to be his Yasha. He is so close, or not quite his Yasha, 400 gold to go for that, but he is very close to that Manta style. And this team, IG, we have not talked about it too much, but Manta style will ruin them.
Yeah, Manta style would definitely would. Now, if you're IG, you got some glaives, so you can knock them down. Of course, the wall replica will be a if you get damage, that's a big if. Late game here with wall replica up here on Darkseer, you could get, you could kind of burst them down in that direction. There's some answers, but these answers are not the answers you want to put down on the test. Here's the thing though, Manta style after it's up, what is next? That's a scary dot.
whatever he wants. So I think BKB would be an absolutely fantastic choice. Impetus won't affect you. That might be the biggest damage source coming out from IG right now. None of the Venomancer nukes will damage you. IG going for a tier 1 tower top, but that they have to know they're giving up a Roshan to do this. Too far away to defend this. Bottle on the floor. Havos, this is going to be his Manta style more or less, and an Aegis. And even if they can kill him once, I don't know if they can kill him twice. Assuming he doesn't get killed by Roshan, he's going to have to be careful. Back off, switch that aggro. IG, they're going to give away the Aegis, but they might get 2 towers. And maybe, it's not quite worth it, but maybe it's a decent trade. Havos will pick up the Aegis. And with this supporting cast, this is really an Aegis times 2. There's so many get out of jail free cards, whether it's Holy Persuasion, Hand of God, even something like the Black Hole can be a lifesaver for Anti-Mage. And they're not even going to get the tier 2. A tier 1 for Roshan, not a good trade.
I mean, I don't think they can even go into the Roche pit.
That's true.
So it's better than getting nothing.
Well, there is no Black Hole. They maybe could have fought it.
Well,
not an easy fight.
Not an easy fight at all. Anti-Mage was big. He had a double damage rune as well. But Zoe says, I want to stay around and see how much I can get. But do you really want to stay around to this Anti-Mage? We will have a Battle Fury, or Mantisal, sorry, in just 2 minutes, 1 minute.
And for the moment, it looks like the pressure is not relenting. They back off a few steps, a few paces, but they're not leaving the building. 4 step away. Ferrari picks that up. A nice item to have. Again, not a game-breaking item. Helpful for running from Anti-Mage and Queen of Pain, but you need more than one normally to deal with them fully. And where's the rest of the item progression going for IG? Mechanism picked up on YYF. Again, a nice item pickup, not a game-breaking one. Zoe getting close to that BKB if it's the route he goes. That could be big, but he still will get outright clicked by the Anti-Mage. He still will not deal enough damage just yet. And for Na'Vi, they have the mechanism up on Puppey, multiple BKBs on Dendi, on Light of Heaven. So the magic damage from the Eclipse is really not going to do too much.
Well, they're going to slow siege this tower. With Marching Machine, it's going to be difficult. Havosi's going to go, and he can play extremely aggressive because he has the Aegis Immortal. Creep jacking back and forth. The clap move barely misses. Havos down to about half HP. He's got to be very careful. The blade, the blink, the black hole, and the Battle Fury damage. Dendi cleans up as well. Everybody dies. Havos double kill. He's looking for the triple. The right click. Oh, Dendi takes it away. Dendi seals it. 3-0. Aegis still right there. Mantisal now done. And Na'Vi, they feel it. They're very, very close.
And the defending champs feeling strong, feeling confident. And by the way, they can feel the floor vibrate from you guys roaring, so they know
Keep
they're
it up,
close.
guys. Keep it up.
They're not done just yet for IG on the back foot, but you can't count a team with Darkseer out of it because as big as this Anti-Mage gets, he's going to hit that much harder when the illusions are created going back the other way. And it's so hard to push against Tinker and Darkseer. And I do feel if they get all their items up at some point with Tinker, with Luna, with Darkseer, and you're showing a very sad graph, which I don't appreciate. We're trying to talk about IG being in this game. They are way behind, but again, strong turtling team, some heroes that will scale well into the late game.
I love when you talk about the wall replica, it just shows you the level 9 Darkseer.
Yeah. Well, it's getting there, though.
It's getting there, and he needs to get there, right? That's the point. He needs to survive, get some ganks off, get some jungle off, needs a level. Look at him, he's got the items. Mech into Hood is not too bad, but he really wants a level 2 of the wall. And level 3, should he actually find it. At this point, though, you know, Havos will be farming all of the map, including your own jungle. So basically, nowhere is safe. I think at this point, if Faith, for example, meets up against the Anti-Mage, Faith's got to run. And he can't really
everybody
run.
has to run.
Yeah.
Everybody has to run from this Anti-Mage. They do have Surge, which is really nice to deal with them, but not when Black Holes are hitting like this.
Right.
You can't run from that. And there's no way to cancel it. There is no way to cancel it because there's a BKB rushed by Light of Heaven, and then he goes back for the Blink Dagger. But the BKB rush 2 games in a row now, we've seen it gets Na'Vi off to such a strong start.
I mean, at this point in the game, maybe if you're IG, you hope for the fact that, hey, BKB duration will be going down. We'll just bait out a couple BKBs and take him a fight much, much later on. But for now, Na'Vi says you could try to do all of that shenanigans. Oh, don't TP in like that. It's going to be dangerous to force half an out. Havos not going to be blinking for that.
And Ferrari has an ultimate orb. He's not too far off of the site device, but the tower's going to take a fall. Mid-style, vacuum in. Where's that wall? They need that wall. Zoe needs to drop the ult. Not doing so. Twan still living. Arsar doing the big damage, but it's Puppey with a double. And Arsar drives them back. Dendi charges in. Everyone's so low. How are they not dying? This is ridiculous.
There's a wall, but That wall.
That was
did
not where they
nothing.
wanted that wall.
That wall really did nothing. It was 2-0 in that fight. And critically here, Zoe, the only player that's really going to carry them back, he's dead. Venomancer died. That doesn't mean too much of anything. Another tower being picked off. Black Hole still online. I think at this point here, if you're Na'Vi, you do whatever the hell you want.
I think it's actually going to be up to Ferrari to carry this game back. Zoe is just he's easily kited. They have multiple blinks up. I mean, the Enigma having a blink, as well as the Anti-Mage and the Queen of Pain having the blink abilities. And there's just so much burst damage. He doesn't have his BKB yet. In fact, it's slipping farther and farther away from him. He's been close to it for a while, but he just keeps on dying. The Mithril Hammer on the Courier, and yet he's still 800 gold off. He's had these items for a while now, and I think the Scythe of Ice is really their one hope of winning fights. If Ferrari can catch heroes out, maybe you only fight when the Black Hole is down. That's where you can look to find your pickoffs. And Tinker is a momentum hero in fights. If you start killing heroes and you start scything them down, you can keep on doing so, especially with Surge to keep you in range of getting those hexes off.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the throne stays alive, the game is still there. You don't know if Havos is going to buy a big item and don't save for buyback.
Exactly.
You don't know if somebody's going to pick off. So if you have a chance to win, that Na'Vi or IG definitely has a chance to win right now. It's very slim, I feel like, but they definitely can pull it out and should be trying to pull it out. They're playing on. And right now you can see that HP being stacked up on Chuan. Very, very smartly done. And they're going to try to go for a pick on the side, but the pick is coming on the other way. Faith is going to get slowed down. The Gale is going to hit.
On 2.
But the wall gets dropped down. YYF will die before the vacuum, so the wall's doing nothing. Faith is trying to try to TP out. He will make it just barely.
That was about a second in time. And meanwhile, Manta-style Illusion being killed off by Ferrari and Zoe. They lose the Darkseer, but with March, it's very hard to push into this. I don't believe there's a pipe just yet. Bit of a weak blink there from Dendi, but no big deal. Look at the item progression on everyone. Multiple BKBs. Dendi going for a Scythe of Ice. Not too far off of it. We've been talking all game about Havos, but it's really not correct to do so because this is Na'Vi, and when they're winning, everybody's having a big impact.
Yeah, everybody gets farm, everybody gets EXP, everybody contributes. It feels like really this is what Team Dota is all about. I mean, Dendi's trying to steal the show all the time with his flashy play. He does it very well. Light up Heaven's Black Hole, Puppy's early aggression. Man, it's a small thing, but like blocking an ancient camp like this prevents 200 or 300
The gem on Puppy dewarding right now.
Well, he took it from Venomancer.
Exactly,
so
but using it. He's into its full potential.
He likes to steal stuff. Don't tell him I said that. But, you know, everybody's contributing, and that's why Navi's playing so well.
They want to go again.
Back
Here comes Light of Heaven. No, the net will save them. But up top, it is going to be Dendi looking for Faith. No mana for the ult. Faith will TP away again. Havos blinks in. Once so, this will be a very big kill. Can he find it? He's got a blink. He's got the Reaver. He's got the Manta-style, and he goes back to farm some creeps.
Yeah, Reaver, a very, very safe choice here for Havos. Basically makes him almost unkillable. He's still only at 1700 HP, but between Manta-style and Spell Shield and the ability to blink every couple seconds, it should be fine. Manta-style is going to basically force the entire team back, in which case they will work on a tower. There's no glyph on the tower as well, so it's going to go down. Well, are they going to try to fight over this one? No deny attempt either. That's going to be the tower at this point. Na'Vi can go on the high ground, but they will back off.
That's all 6 outer towers knocked down at 29 minutes, not the 60-minute pace we saw in Game 1 from IG, not the 25-minute pace that we saw in Game number 2 from Na'Vi, but still very early, massive map control for them. And what do you do when you're ahead if you're Na'Vi? You get more ahead in the words of Artosis. They're going to look to set a gank up, all smoked up, rotating in. Dendi leading the charge here. Havos close behind. They really want to get a kill. If they do, that's going to be Rax. Unless there are buybacks, this is a perfect time to check. Queen of Pain, Enigma, Tinker, Leshrac, and Darkseer all have buybacks. And this early, you're going to respawn pretty quickly. So I don't know if they'll lose Rax if they get killed off, but that's not, you can't afford to waste that gold now. You're already so damn far behind. 12,000 gold lead for Na'Vi, 25,000 experience lead, or 22, excuse me. Just disgustingly ahead.
Well, Tinker's very, very close to that Scythe of Ice.
He's almost got it.
Yeah, he's almost got it, but do you want to save him for buyback, or do you just go big and go home? Or go home.
It depends. If Na'Vi's going to force the issue, then I think you may be safe for buyback. And if they're not, maybe you go and buy it and expect them not to push. But either way, it's not an easy choice to be made. He's not being forced though. They're just pressuring the lane, content to siege things out. Probably going to wait for the next Roshan.
Yep. I mean, next Roshan about 1 minute away. I want to say it's very, very good if you go for a pickoff because. If there's one way to come back, it's to lose a Roshan fight.
Oh, yeah. How many times have we seen that?
Yeah, you lose a Roshan fight, you give the Aegis to the other side. It's a very, very small % chance of happening, but Darkseer is one of the best Roshan hero in the entire game because this area is very small. A vacuum will cover that, and it won't look pretty.
And vacuum is very big, and that is a bad thing. Pretty good combo to have. Dendy, 1,900 gold on him. Is that Scythe device coming soon? No, it looks like he's still about 1,000 gold. Maybe. Oh, Havos blinks in. And this is what Na'Vi can do right now. With an Anti-Mage having a Heart, a Mad Style, and a Battle Fury, he can he's immortal, basically. Even with all 5 heroes, until the Scythe device up, there's no killing him. And even when it's up, it's not going to be an easy kill by any means, especially not with Chen. Another smoke for Na'Vi. They keep on knocking on the door, but they really want to kick it down. And if you open that door on your IG, you have some very unwelcome guests in your house.
One thing that we haven't been talking about too much is the fact that Tinker isn't getting ganked. The lack of action means Tinker is actually playing very well.
4,000 gold.
When you have no map control like this, TPing around as a Tinker is actually very scary. Havol says, I feel somebody...
That's a tickle. That tickles.
Yeah. And that's pure damage that goes through the armor and the magical reduction, but it did nothing.
Still doesn't hurt. Still just scratching the surface. They're not killing the Tinker. And I gotta say, I think IG, they're happy about this. They're okay with trading farm.
They're still in the game, so
right.
yes,
they're happy about that, that's for sure. But really, we talked about earlier they weren't going to farm their way back in, but at this point they can't leave the base anyway, so if they're going to get some farm, that's better than having to fight right now. Right now, if they fight, they're going to lose, but this is probably going to be it. This is where Na'Vi, with the Aegis up on Havos, and of course they can't challenge it at this point. It's just impossible to do so. Well, they're going for Roche, but look at Dendy, hoping for some stragglers, maybe an overextension from Zoe. Will Zoe go for it? No, he's scared. He knows better. But they give away a free Aegis to Na'Vi. Perhaps not the most exciting way to get a big advantage. But with 2,000 gold up, he's got an Aegis. He's also got buyback. And by the way, there's a haste from top. So Dendy is going to be moving fast as lightning in this next fight. And they're still not necessarily going to push, but if they want to, I think they have all the pieces of the puzzle.
I think they want to push very soon. If they're going to wait for anything, it's going to be the Scythe of Ice, which, by the way, about 600 go away from
So
Dendy.
close, so close.
So close. Any big item pickup here? No, nothing too big. If Puppy wants to upgrade that to drums, would be pretty good. There's buyback here on the Light of Heaven.
Arsart almost has a pipe. That could be the other item they're waiting for.
Sure, that's pretty big as well.
Although he's accidentally bought a 3rd Ring of Regen, so that'll slow it down a little bit.
He's running a ring shop. He's got 3 in stash. He's got 1 here. So.
Oh, here we go for IG. They do want to force something. Sight device up on Ferrari. He does not have buyback, though. This will be a massive blunder if he dies. If not, it'll be a big play. He catches Light of Heaven. There's the rockets, but Havos is here to save the day. Supermaning it up in the front lines. Still no black hole. Light of Heaven drops low. Havos strikes first. Ferrari is dead, and Ferrari has no buyback. Zoe uses the BKB, but no TP out. In comes Havos. He wants more. They're going to get 2. And with Zoe dying, this might be Rex. This might be Gabe. This might be Na'Vi going to the winner's bracket finals. So close. Zoe, no buyback on him either. Actually, he just has it. But even if he buys back, there's no BKB. This is going to be almost impossible to stop.
Oh, the wards, they do nothing. They do nothing. The glyph gets forced right now. Everybody on Na'Vi, they're going straight into the tower. And the tower is not long for life. Everybody right-clicking. Where's the vacuum? That's pretty nice. But will it be enough? I don't think so. Havos at this point. Look at him go. Just really 200 damage per pop. Mantis not even being used because he doesn't need to. Blink Black Hole! That's on 2, but that's enough. And now Vila says, please, GG, well played. Your defending champions will be going to the winner bracket finals. Standing ovation from the crowd. And right now, Na'Vi is just carrying the day.
And the crowd says it all. There's really nothing to add to that. Na'Vi, the defending champs. A lot of people didn't expect them to be here after a horrible start to the group stages, showing some amazing manners, professionalism, and respect, shaking hands with IG right now on the main stage. Devastating loss for IG, especially after the way that game 1 went. Na'Vi, they're going back to the winner bracket finals. Can they go the whole way? Whole hog for them. One more roar from the crowd. They deserve your applause, but so too does IG. They drop down to the losers bracket. But if you're going to drop down, this is the second place, best place to drop down from.
And of course, IG, they're going to be no slouch. They'll keep playing to their hearts.
Whoever is playing against IG is not going to be happy that they drop down. Not that they want to face Na'Vi either, but their opponent's coming up in the losers bracket. That's going to be tough.
Look, Na'Vi looking very, very strong. And right now, they are the winner. But let's send it back to the front table. 2GD, take it away.
So Na'Vi then are going to be the second team to make it to the winner bracket finals. They're going to be playing LGD tomorrow. IG have dropped down to the loser bracket. Who'd have thought a team that lost the first match in 16 minutes would come back and win 2 amazing games?
This guy. What did you think?
I don't
Yeah, that's
remember.
what I
Those
thought.
games were too epic that I don't actually
Doesn't matter
remember
what you
anything
think.
that happened before them. That was just some of the best games of the tournament. That's probably the biggest cop-out I'm going to do all tournament long though.
Those were actually amazing. Holy smokes, those were so good. And I got to agree with LG or LD here. IG are in the losers bracket. If you're in the losers bracket, you've got to be wetting yourself right now because IG are a potential championship level team. These games are getting so good.
Well, yeah, of course, if Na'Vi drop down as well, they are returning champion level team. So it's not easy here on day 2 and certainly won't be tomorrow. Okay, so we do have a winner's interview. It is with Na'Vi, and I believe it's Puppy. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hey guys, this is Purge, and I'm here with the winners of the Winners Bracket Semifinal. It's Navi's Puppy. How do you feel, man?
I feel very excited, just like Purge does, and I think it was a pretty exciting game, very mysterious.
That sounds excellent. Great impersonation, by the way. In Game 1, you guys had a really rough time. What did you do between Game 1 and Game 2 that really upped your morale? Because you guys were smiling and laughing right after you picked the jug.
The first game was a fluke. There was like a problem that we heard, like I wasn't doing my own bands. Like there was some kind of an idea behind that. Oh, if they play like Naga Siren, it's gonna be like total disaster Na'Vi. But so we banned it and we got outpicked like completely, and we couldn't do anything on the map. So say like the second and third games, I was like, let's just leave it there and let's just try to outpick him and play our game. And when the second game is going, like third pick the jugger, I don't care, man. So that's why we were laughing.
All right, and you showed that you guys had a counter for the Naga Siren. Was it the same case for the third game? Were you expecting the Luna pick, and did you draft based on that?
We completely expected the Luna pick. Yeah, it was absolutely like obvious they will pick it. After the bans of Lone Druid and like the Morphling, it's obvious that they would go for Lone Druid. I mean, they like it. They like it. We understand it.
All right, well, congratulations to you guys. Good luck in the future. And back to you, James.
Thanks, Purge. So there you have it. Puppy laying it down. What did you make of the interview?
Purge Part 2. Yeah, I actually think that maybe Na'Vi actually scared off IG from the Naga in Game 3. I mean, it's all in Game 2. They immediately snap-picked it with that Darkseer. By the time it came to Game 3, Na'Vi were just content to leave it in the pool, and it went all the way through, and nobody even grabbed it.
They were in IG's head. That goes without saying. They got the Darkseer as well. Na'Vi just not afraid to go up against these heroes. And I think for Na'Vi, the key hero Game 2 and 3 was the Enigma. It's in these sort of drawn-out farm games. Game 3 was the sort of more drawn-out, slow-paced game. Having up that short black hole with the BKB is a guaranteed black hole. IG never picked up any counter like a Vengeful Spirit Swap or a Beastmaster Roar.
Yeah, and of course, there was some really nice moments there for Na'Vi. One of them was I think they killed 4 members on the bottom lane. I'm not sure which lane it was. We can take a look at it and just see.
Yeah, I believe this is a black hole initiation here. So we see immediately they go right on Puppy. Puppy does fall pretty quickly, but we immediately get a stun there and then immediate BKB black hole into 3. And this is what Gods is talking about. When you know that you're going to be able to get that black hole off, when you know you're going to get your BKB on Light of Heaven, these long drung out games, as he said, Na'Vi are amazing at these games. They know exactly what they need to do. They just pick it, Light of Heaven does his job, and then they steamroll. I mean, yeah. I feel like Enigma may be a hero you got to ban against him if you're going to try and do that.
Yeah, Light of Heaven's played Enigma twice. He's played it amazing in the last 2 games. Dendi, perfect timing, even on Queen of Pain, as he was also on Rubik a little bit earlier. Bruno?
I think at this point, Na'Vi is a team that resists analysis, so I won't analyze them. I'd rather talk about something else. Let's go. We're wrapping up the second day of the tournament. Of course, we have 4 losers brackets coming on straight away, but let's talk about the true winners. There are some heroes that never, ever lost in this tournament. Just 3 of them. Axe, Bane, and Ricky.
All right.
On the other hand, we have heroes that are in a more virginal situation, we might say. They have not yet won anything. Few more. Witch Doctor, Weaver, Spirit Breaker, Slardar, Shadowfiend, Obsidian Destroyer, Death Prophet, and of course, Alchemist. What do you make of this?
I
I feel like that was
Like,
just a list
for-
of the least relevant heroes in the metagame.
Yeah.
It just
Heroes
like,
you'll not see
I
at
don't
the
know.
International Grand Finals.
I'm thinking,
Bruno just listed
yeah,
them.
I'm thinking drugs, Bruno. That's my conclusion
He
when,
is from
when you
Argentina.
finish talking.
No, I don't think so.
all right.
He took you up on that pipe of insight off last night, didn't he?
Gotta
It will
get Mads
expand
Boone,
your
guys.
mind,
Mads
Bruno.
Boone.
It will expand your mind. All right, then. So anything here at the panel that you guys want to talk about? Because we're going to go to the winner bracket and just check that out.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a
See,
look at
yeah,
it.
see how it's all panned out today in day 2. All right, let's take a look at the winner bracket. And as you can see, our winner bracket finals are going to be between LGD and Na'Vi. Now, Na'Vi beat out IG, but they weren't as dominant as LGD. That's definitely something that we should point out. Is that something I think isn't necessarily true?
Yeah, I think it's true. IG have not been as dominant as LGD, but Na'Vi have every time stepped up to the task. I mean, dropping a game against DK, coming back, winning the next 2. They've done it now against IG. If anyone can do it, it's going to be Na'Vi.
Yeah, every time they're on the biggest stage, they perform.
All right, so of course that concludes our winner bracket for today, and LGD will play Na'Vi tomorrow, but we still have the lower bracket. We still have 4 more games, and unfortunately we're going to lose some teams here on day 2. So the first match